appeared to come off the heel of Leandre Vries. But Mkromin with the foul. Now this is certainly a scoreable distance.
You don't want to risk it this early. The keeper hasn't warmed up into the game that much. You've already committed a foul in a very dangerous area. We've seen how fouls have been converted in that area, especially in this tournament. Directed goal, forcing a keeper to pull a save. You can only hope that the keeper is very warm and the warm-up has done its best on his body.
Little fake, and the free kick comes in, and it's over the crossbar. And, well, to be fair, I don't think that the keeper, Pavel Boroskin, was worried in the slightest. The foul goes away of SAFA Гаутенг. I don't think there was much in that.
Maybe could have given advantage, but yeah, the foot that was left behind actually.
It was ever so slightly late. Lovely little roulette from Leandre Vries, and he's picked out a teammate. The ball back across, hesitation from Boroskin, and he'll get his hands on it. Now that could have turned out far worse for Spartak. Rabaranov already knows what it feels like to bowl to the back of the net here at the Nike Center. Big switch. Ball now on the right-hand flank for SAFA Гаутенг as they look to play it into the box, and well, the offside is called. I think it is just about being kept alive by Jerome Carlser. Well, I don't think that SAFA in that instance would have retained possession. Good strength. Levchenkov played it out wide. It's with Kожedub, and his cross has a little too much on it, and that's being kind.
Kожedub, one of the players that came into the match on the first game as a sub. But this time around, he's starting with the game.
He's been in and out of the starting lineup. He did start the very first game, then, as you rightfully pointed out, has been coming on as a sub. Now gets an opportunity to operate on the wing. Vlad Shitov preferred in the striker's position. Shitov himself, he was a sub in the first game, replacing Kожedub.
A healthy rotation of players to eliminate the element of exhaustion, utilizing one unit of players at most.
This is in fact the first time in the tournament that they haven't put into effect any changes from one game to the other. And it is rare in a tournament like Future Champs Gauteng, where the games come thick and fast, to see an unchanged lineup. Rabaranov picks it up. Let's turn towards Lefela. Trying to work the ball in tight spaces, and they've done so successfully. That appears to have taken a touch off a Russian player last. Will be a corner kick. Nice from Sianda Nyanga. Played a neat little 1-2. got the ball back, and his cross now behind. Boruskin just pointing out some unmarked players. And the cross can't get past the first man, but SAFA Gauteng have retained possession. There's an offside called though. Great ball in. This is Vlad Shitov, and he's now called offside.
Very disciplined player, tactically aware, never gets tired, always pushes to the final third, always pushes to the box. If you give him room, he's going to snapshot the keeper. Pulling there, not giving him that much of room to play.
Spартак racking up the fouls now,
especially in the center of the park. Such a tiny man though, that is SAFA Gauteng player. Busy. Tulabana.
Good ball out towards the flank, successfully controlled by Ryan Manning, who's one of a number of SuperSport United players that are in this SAFA Gauteng side. That's taken neatly, and Vezi just sticks a foot in to put an end to what may have been a counter-attack deriving from that moment right there, in that position inside the Spартак half.
Seems like the team Gauteng has a very tiny structures compared to Spartak Moscow. There will be a lot of shoving and pushing, body weight.
Oh, yet another free kick for SAFA Gauteng. This time it's Ryan Manning fouled. The game hasn't really kicked into gear quite yet. A cagey start.
Yep.
One-man wall. Sviatosław Kожedub. They played it cleverly into feet and then turned on by Jerome Karlsa. Poor touch from Mельников. Nati Luana wanted it back, just can't keep that one in.
Passing, the touches, the movement of the ball. Gauteng are trying to implement that combination play. It hasn't materialized that much for them.
Vezi now searching for options, and he finds one in the form of Riandre Fries. Still Fries squaring up here to Saumov. Fries. Well, the ball holds up on this artificial turf, but to be honest, there's a chance you can keep it alive even if the cross is overhit. No one really willing to attempt that though. Boruskin playing out from the back. Ravaranov, neat touch. Ravaranov scored in the opening game against Bidvest Wits. Quickest goal of the tournament so far, netted in under a minute. Although Wits hit back with three of their own through Daniel Dyer, Tomiso Kansi and Junior Nare. Kansi's in particular was a special goal. Ravaranov was on the score sheet again. In his side's very next game. That game against Club Tijuana. Scored the opener for Sviatoslav Kожedub. Got the second as they won that one 2-0. It's the second offside for SAFA, by the way. A little bit of pace and a driving run through the center of the park. Rabadanov, well, I think he was trying to decide what he was going to do with the ball before he even controlled it.
I think he had already decided. He just needed to execute it. Got the eyes off the ball maybe, but it wasn't a good position though.
Vladshitov is dispossessed. That's a rather loose ball. Searching for Luana. And Mельников was alive to the possibility that he could nip in and win possession. Unfortunately, his touch was heavy and took the ball out.
Poor pass from a centre back. Suicidal one. Could have found himself in danger. Would have been a one-on-one with the keeper. Mельников.
Mельникov has blown hot and cold in this particular game, or this particular tournament rather. There's been some games where he's been excellent. In fact, there's been portions of games where he's been excellent and also at the same time very poor during other periods of the very same game. The fouls that have been committed so far should tell a story. SAFA keeping it very clean. Spartak committing 6 so far. And that's the manner in which they intend to disrupt the momentum of the South African side. Finally, a call goes in favor of Spartak. That's their first free kick of the game. Oh, lovely feet. Gets away from one, finds the pass successfully. Vladshitov turns it over towards the left-hand side where Kожedub was making the run.
Not allowing him to have the first touch is a good thing. He's got good crosses. He's got good touches. So Monre Marais needs to be aware.
Now ball in and Rabadanov! What a save! That is a stunning save from Sipho Buta, a SuperSport United goalkeeper who's been chosen for this SAFA Гаутенг select side, an invitational side made up of all the best players that didn't qualify with their teams from the Гаутенг Cup. That is exceptional.
He was reflexed. Got his eyes on the ball. Switch on, he's gonna stay in the game. Look at how he's standing. Now, this could have been taken at first choice. The first chance he got, he could have volleyed it. That is Rabadanov. Would have been a different tested keeper.
Headed away with authority. Mельников. Rabadanov, who would have thought that he'd opened the scoring. Nice tight touch in the box, and there was nothing wrong with that effort. So I think it would have nestled in the bottom corner.
Now, fouling.
Spartak move the ball out towards Kожedub. He chooses to get himself into a more advanced position, attack the byline, and perhaps cut it back. Decent defending there from Paul Mhlanga, who was playing for Mamelodi Sundowns at the Гаутенг Cup. Now, Highlands Park do find themselves with this tournament, and yes, they might not have at NPFL All-Stars sorted out their passport issues, as Rabadanov looks to go again and lined up from range by Levchenko. But I think it's a good initiative to have an invitational side. Then all the players that have really excelled themselves at the Gauteng Cup who didn't get an opportunity and now still play at future champs Gauteng as part of a select team. The only disadvantage this side will be at, despite having all of the best players from the knocked out teams, is that they don't have that long to prepare. Only a week, in fact, between Gauteng Cup and future champs.
I would have thought maybe they would have taken players like they did with SAFA Tshwane. Remember, they took players from local schools and assembled a squad, but this time around they went for development structures. So somehow it becomes unfair because they did not qualify with particular teams. They then get an opportunity again to be picked and formed into a squad. Now what happens to the ones that are playing school sports?
As Mельников driving through the center, this is Rabadanov, looks to hit it, goes near post, is off target, but Buta had that one covered. It was a long process to qualify for this tournament as a South African side. There's the Schools Cup, and you can then qualify for the Gauteng Cup through that. We don't often see schools progressing, but we have in the past. Matloli School in 2012, Joburg Secondary 2013, Sunwood Park in 2014. Since then, though, we haven't seen a school side in the competition. And those SAFA teams recruit from the schools, and in this instance, this SAFA Gauteng side recruit from all the different clubs and SAFA sides that didn't make it. Again, there's some loose passing that's presenting opportunities for Spartak. They just haven't been able to capitalize yet. That will certainly be a foul.
Nikolai screaming at the ref that he got the ball. The showing of stats, especially above the ball. Riandre Fries, one of the potent players in the field. Pacey, skillful.
Yes, Fries with the delivery. Spartak have turned over possession, and this is Tolstopiatov who gets it clear, the man to have given away the foul in the first place.
Rather be safe than sorry. Clear the foul that you've created.
It's away from Beloy. SAFA dominating proceedings in terms of the possession with 60%. Been some disappointing passes from both sides. 20 minutes into this encounter.
Look, the center of the pack, it's not easy for you to win the ball. It's either they pull you, they foul you. They know the aggression that is needed in the field of play, especially in the center of the pack. Very aggressive team that is Spartak Moscow. SAFA Gauteng trying to match that. I would say it's a wrong approach. They need to win the ball.
Shitov with a good ball. It's a strong tackle to avert the danger. Daniel Grigov on the right-hand side was preparing to cross.
This hit will make you play an offside trap style of play. Push forward. Mельnikov was caught offside there.
Now, pace displayed here. Up against Gloitman, tries to come inside. Jerome Carlson able to get inside his man. Big Kloitman had done enough. Vezi. Karlsa applying the pressure and almost profited from it. It's Vadim Kuromin, Spartak captain, who comes forward with it. Another loose pass, but really, it's an easy one. SAFA Гаутенг have Buta to thank for still being level with Spartak. We've had the best chance of the half so far through Rabadanov. This is Rabadanov, picks up a ball from Mельников, skips past one, can't beat a second. Now running from deep is Karlsa. And it stayed on side there. It's Pavel Burskin off his line quickly to pick that one up rather comfortably in the end, it must be said. Leandre Fries cuts it out. It's Karlsa now, and Karlsa misplaces his pass in searching for Ryan Manning. Vlad Shitov up against Mklanga. Doesn't have the beating of him. Nicely done by Paul Mklanga. From the Mamelodi Sundowns development. He's playing at the back alongside Beloy, who's from SuperSport United's development, as is the goalkeeper Buta. Might have some work to do now. Grigov picked the pass towards Shitov, and it's Kожedub now. Lovely. Good cross in, and Shitov is denied again!
Sipo Buta. Oh my, he brings them back to life. He keeps them alive actually. It's 2-on-1. Good outer foot, a header, but Sipo Buta, he's there. Strong hand. It could have been something different. Shitov up against Sipo Buta. I give credit to the keeper.
Well, this is the man who picked Sipo Buta. It's David Ribeiro, a goalkeeper coach for SAFA Гаутенг. Went to Gauteng Cup last week, identified this man, a 16-year-old, as the best to sit in between the sticks for SAFA Гаутенг. And that was a nice shot from Leandre Fries, but no pressure because I think he'd seen the flag up already.
Yep, Sipo Buta. Under SuperSport United Academy. Under the likes of, you know, Mzwake Dladla. You know Mzwake?
Dladla, yep.
Yeah.
Mzwake, yep. Recruits a lot of players,
yeah.
Works for SuperSport United in a team manager capacity, but a very good scout in his own right. Mельников is playing it back here to Saumov. Dispossessed. Now Karlsa up against Kloitman.
And remember, Mzwake Dladla was also a goalkeeper, so it would be disappointing for him to recruit a keeper that's not really good.
That's certainly not the case here.
Yeah, he's got a very good keeper.
Beloy. Fries steps in, takes the ball, still Fries. Good defending from Kloidman. I think Fries took the ball away from Militello though. Now Rabadanov not able to latch onto that one despite the mistake at the back. Very sloppy passing.
It's gonna cost them the game. They need to put power on the ball, give it direction. If they don't find their teammate, whip it over to the opponent's half. Regroup from there.
I think without a doubt, Spartak Moscow had the better chances in this first period. Grigorev can't turn the ball towards Shitov. Lawana, also of SuperSport United.
You know, I wouldn't want to see what happened in the previous game. It's better to convert the chances in the first half because you'll dominate the first half, and then in the second half the opposition will come with a different mentality, different approach. They get into the final third, try and convert 1 or 2 chances or open the game up.
Shitov is a little isolated here. Looks to come inside up against Baloy, and it's Vezi who comes away with it in the end. It's Ryan Manning. And Karlsa is onside. Karlsa over the top.
Oh my! How did you do that, young man? You are onside. A nice whipped in cross, invited the keeper, but he could not call out. Karlsa, you could have beat the keeper with the extra touch though. You could have went hard and low. Would have changed the game with the goal up. Come on, boy, look up, head up, get back in the game. Good one.
30 seconds to go before the end of the half. That would have been the perfect time to score. No additional time, we're hearing. And that probably, it would have been one of the last plays of the half. They have the wind in their sails now, SAFA Гаутенг. Making tracks on the right-hand side. This is played back to Inyanga. Squares up to his man, can't beat him. And it's good defending from Levchenkov. Well, that's it. Spartak had the better chances, but I think SAFA Гаутенг had the chance in the final minute. Jerome Karlsa, who scored for SAFA Гаутенг in their 2-1 win over Regio in their second match, not able to add another to his tally. And could that come back to bite this side? It's a spot in the final that is on the line here. It's been rather scrappy at times, and I feel there'll certainly be some improvement in the second period when these two sides come back out. But after 30 minutes, it's FC Spartak Moscow and SAFA Гаутенг deadlocked at 0-0 at the Nike Center.